Bam and bam. Hello, everyone, and welcome to NFL Sunday pregame kickoff, week number 15 edition, featuring 3 podcasts, 2.5 of which are here. The other one is not really here, but it's okay. I am Will. We have Colton, and we got Dom and Jake. Hello, gentlemen.
What is up?
Good morning.
A lot of coaching and GM news out right now, so let's kind of go into it. So ESPN's Louis Riddick, who is a pretty big name right now in the GM role. I mean, he was interviewed for the Jets role 2 years ago, and he has a lot more interviews. He interviewed with the Texans and the Falcons this week for their GM openings. Pretty interesting to see where that goes. I mean, he's really good in the booth right now for Monday Night Football, and hopefully, he could go out somewhere. And some other names right now floating around for head coaching. Northwestern's head coach Fitzgerald is expected to get plenty of interviews after the bowl game that Northwestern will have upcoming later in December. And also, former Bengals coach Marvin Lewis expected to get head coaching interviews at some point during the offseason. I mean, whenever that may be, what are your guys' thoughts on, could Fitzgerald be a good head coaching kind of spot? I know Jake and Colin, you guys, Big Ten people, what are your thoughts on him trying to go?
Solid defensive coordinator, at the very least.
I don't think he leaves unless it's for a head coaching job.
I know. I wouldn't leave on him. College jobs are so much better, to be honest.
He's
free reign to do whatever you want.
He's made a program that shouldn't be good as they are good. Where the heck is Northwestern even located?
Illinois, Chicago area.
Yeah, that's okay. They are in Illinois. So figure who the heck wants to go to Illinois, freeze their tail off. He's made that program something that it should not even be like.
It's a theater school. It's not even a sports
bingo,
school.
Bingo. It's high, education people. It's a private school. It's a hard school to get into. The guy's turned a program that shouldn't be that good into something that is like worth having a conversation about in the Big Ten. And he's been there. He played there. He went back to his alma mater, took over for a coach. I heard this whole story. I forget who the other coach he took over for. A guy that was very well respected in the organization, in the program. He takes over, brings in his own people, turns Northwestern into something way bigger than it ever expected to be. And I don't know if he leaves unless he gets a job that he loves. I don't see him taking a job that he doesn't like. Does he deserve to get some shots? Absolutely. The guy's done something that not a lot of coaches can do at a school like Northwestern. So hats off to him.
I mean, I personally really like what he's done at Northwestern over the last. They're always a hard team to play against, and now they had the shot a couple of years ago, even though that one was more to some of the top teams not being that great in the West. But this year, it's because they are flat out a good team. Like they can play defense with any team in the Big Ten right now.
They hung around with Ohio State. That's for darn sure. In that game, they made Justin Fields struggle. I know Fields had a hand issue, a wrist issue, thumb issue, whatever you want to call it. But, yeah, you saw the spread. I saw the spread. It was like 16. I'm like, yes, sir, Northwestern is covering this. So
I think I got up to 19 at one point.
I think it was. I think my relatives told me it was like 20, and they, went down. I'm like, I'm taking that 16. Are you kidding me? And I hit on that bet. So, again, this should have been a game they got mollywopped, but instead they hung around, and for 3/4 of the game, they pretty much had decent control over it. They just missed tackles in the fourth quarter and couldn't get the ball moving. Otherwise, they played a pretty damn good game against Ohio State, who's going to be in the playoff. So hats off to those guys.
Ohio State also had they couldn't run the ball early, and then they finally figured it out.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Over 300 yards later. Hello.
What are your guys' thoughts on Marvin Lewis getting head coaching interviews, basically? I mean, he got the one last year with Dallas, but that was only because they were going to hire Mike McCarthy and the whole Rooney rule where you have to interview at least one person that is not white. Do you see him even getting a job somewhere? I mean, being the Bengals head coach for, 17 years? Something ridiculous like that?
Well, I don't see it. You're seeing it right now. You're not really seeing anything outrageous going on in Cincinnati with Zach Taylor. I mean, clearly you had what was that? The incident with the Bengals or with the Dolphins? Was that them? Was that them? Who's the team that had incidents with the Dolphins a few weeks ago? Wasn't that Cincinnati or not?
That was Cincinnati.
It was Cincinnati. So, all right. Well, it was pretty much every other week with a Marvin Lewis. So I don't see Marvin getting another head coaching job. If anything, it's a coordinator position. I think there's other well-deserving coaches like Todd Bowles, for example, getting another shot before Marvin Lewis. Todd Bowles is a solid defense there in Tampa. Frazier in Buffalo. There's other guys that deserve shots more than Marvin Lewis. We all saw how that experiment went, and it went very poorly. If he just controlled his team, they beat the Steelers in the wild card round in advance. Instead, this guy lets his team blow up. Let's perfect be perfect. Let's Kirkpatrick or Pac-Man Jones be Pac-Man Jones, and they lose the game to the Steelers that they should not have lost. So take that as you will. This guy does not deserve another shot. We saw that experiment, and it blew up in their face. So the guy does not deserve another shot. If anything at coordinator positions, I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but we saw the experiment as a head coach. He loses the locker room. And how's it going to look when you hire a guy like that? And the guys in the locker room sitting there like, I can do whatever the hell I want right now, man. This guy ain't going to hold me accountable or anything. I saw what that was like in Cincinnati. So he doesn't deserve another shot. If he was rightfully so, sure. There's other guys, I just named two off the top of my head, that deserve a better shot than he does. So.
Yeah, there's just not enough that just says that was his only head coach job, by the way. I mean, yeah, it was like a 15-year gig for him, but nonetheless. But it's just, he doesn't do enough to me. Like, what? You don't hire him as a head coach, Other things, yeah, sure. I mean, right now he's like the co-defensive coordinator for Arizona State. That's a big step down from being the head coach of an NFL team for 15 years. So I don't think he ever gets that close, flies that high or that close to the sun ever again.
Well, let's go into an interview that happened this week. Trevor Lawrence talked with Dan Patrick on the Dan Patrick Show on the Peacock Network. And Trevor Lawrence said, and I quote, he's not afraid of a challenge when talking with Patrick about potentially being the next quarterback for the New York Jets. And my thing for you is, what's kind of the only two teams right now that are vying for him are Jacksonville and New York. Where do you think he might end up with the home stretch of the season right now?
Neither. Doesn't he stays in college.
He goes to the Jets. I think Jacksonville messed up putting Minshew in. He gives them the best chance to win. So there's that going for you. If you're a Jets fan, you got to love that. You have the Rams coming in town. The Rams should just mollywop you this week. He's going to the Jets. And if I'm him, I kind of want to go to the Jets. I get there's more pieces, I guess, around you because he got some solid defensive pieces in Jacksonville with Josh Allen and Henderson, C.J. Henderson out of Florida. So they got some solid pieces there. And then you got DJ Shark clearly on offense, James Robinson at running back. So they have some solid pieces. But I personally like the Jets job better. We've talked about this before. 2 first-round draft picks the next 2 years. You might get another second-round pick. I don't see it for Darnold. Possibly a third. Might be a second. Screw it. Because of his age, he's very young. And we've seen how he is when he's got a clean pocket, this, that, and the other. We've all seen it. I don't need to go on anymore. I've gone over this a bazillion times with you, Will. I'm taking that Jets job. If I'm the head coach, I'm taking the Jets job. And if I'm Trevor Lawrence, I want the Jets position. I want to go to the Jets. I think Joe Douglas has got them on the right path. They're going to clearly get the right quarterback. I hope and pray for Trevor Lawrence and for all the Jets fans. As much as I love seeing you struggle, they're going to get the right coach. And the fact that you got a guy like Joe Douglas in charge who built a solid team in Philly, started with the offensive line, went defensive line. You're seeing the improvements of Quinnen Williams this season. I mean, it's kind of like a no-brainer. I want to go to the Jets who got first-round draft picks the next few years. You're getting an all-pro talent, if you do get him, in Trevor Lawrence. I'm taking the Jets job. The Jets is a great spot for Trevor Lawrence. But to be fair, like I just mentioned, there's 2 studs on the defensive side of the ball in Jacksonville already. So there's that. But like I said, the 2 draft picks in the next 2 years of the first round is clearly is where my interest is right now with the Jets.
See, I think Jacksonville is a better fit. I think whoever's first overall takes him. That's it. Like, that's a done deal. But I think Jacksonville is a better fit for an immediate impact, for like a takeoff of his career. But I really don't think the Jets are really that bad of a choice. He goes to the Jets. Yeah, it's been ugly, right? And it's been nothing good all season. I think his time for the Jets, no matter what, would go better than Darnold's. You know, they've seen what fails, and the thing is, they just have to make some changes. They have to make some changes. I think everyone knows that. And I don't think they have to be gigantic, or not even that. I don't have to. I don't think they have. It has to be a lot of changes. You know, I don't like Adam Gase as the head coach. It just is what it is. I don't think that's the right role for him. But I don't know. I could see Trevor Lawrence doing well eventually for the Jets. First year, I think it goes about as good as Joe Burrow. You know, it wasn't spectacular. I mean, if Joe Burrow was still playing, you know, it wouldn't have been spectacular. The record wasn't very good, but it's not like it was going bad. I didn't dislike what Joe Burrow was doing all season, you know, or even Justin Herbert for that fact. You know, their record's not good either. But I kind of see that first year going like that, and after that, I think it's only uphill from there. And it's a big market. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, if he wants to prove he's as good as he is, it's a place like that he does it.
I mean, yeah, it's New York, but here's the thing: I don't. If I'm him, I'm not coming out because yes, it's two opportunities with they got Chanel and Shark and Robinson in Jacksonville, and then it's New York. They have they've always had at least some part of a defense in New York with at least the attitude of wanting to play hard-nosed defense. And I think that Joe Douglas is a really good talent evaluator, and with those picks, they could do work. But you're trusting the two most dysfunctional organizations the NFL has ever seen to make the right changes around him.
Well, that's where I think. Well, that's where I think they got the right guy in Joe Douglas. You saw this draft. Becton looks to be, a franchise cornerstone piece at the offensive line, where you didn't have that in Cincinnati, where Joe Burrow goes in there and gets mollywop, tears his ACL, and it was bound to happen. They at least have a legit left tackle. Denzel Mims looks like he's gonna be legit receiver in the league. When he's healthy, he looks really good. So that's two draft picks right there.
You need the coach, which they have zero of.
Which I think this is where, if the Jets lock up the number one pick, which I do think they're eventually going to do, in my opinion, this is where you're gonna already. It's like no brainer. Everyone knows.
Well, they should have a head coach by then. No.
Well, this is where you're talking to Trevor Lawrence. As stupid as that sounds.
Oh yeah.
You clearly know you're not gonna be stupid. You're taking Trevor Lawrence. You're gonna have conversations with him. Hey, these are coaches that we're looking at. Say Bieniemy, some other college coach that they're possibly looking at. I don't know what the Jets are looking at. I don't pay attention to all that. But I figure Bieniemy's probably in the top of everyone's list right now. So give a list of coaches' names to them. Like, hey, reach out to these guys, see what FaceTime or whatever you got to do. Talk to them, see what your feel is on what they're gonna do with you if you do come to our organization. And we'll go from there. It's kind of gonna be like Trevor's team. Let him figure out the coach that he's gonna want. Excuse me, jeez Louise, can't speak. See what kind of coach he wants. Again, they have 4 first-round draft picks for the next 2 years, and figure Joe Douglas' first year in, looks like he's got 2 hits, and Ashton Davis doesn't look pretty too bad on the safety end either. So, and you got Marcus May back there. They got some pieces. I don't disagree with Laviska Shenault, DJ Shark, Robinson, Eifert, if he ever stays healthy, that guy. Jeez Louise. They have talent. You can't stay in college. You can't do it because you know why? Fine, they're 2 crapshoots organizations. Guess what? You stay in, you tear your ACL next year, and some other player comes out and looks great. You're screwed. You're not the number 1 pick. And guess what? These teams aren't going to change. They're going to suck again next year. So you're going to have the Jets there again. You're going to have Jacksonville again. Come out, clutch your money, and take advantage of the draft picks that they have. So you can't – I don't think – to be fair, in my opinion, I don't think you're going to see any quarterback sit down anytime soon. With the way social media is nowadays, figure it wasn't big in the 2004 draft with Ben, Eli Rivers. Social media wasn't big. So these guys weren't hearing it. Eli wasn't on Twitter like, holy crap, I can't avoid it. I can't avoid this crap. I don't think you're going to see a player sit out anytime soon. Because to be honest, the Jets and Jacksonville are in a better situation now than Cincinnati was last year. And Joe Burrow comes out and plays for Cincinnati. And to be honest, Cincinnati won games that they shouldn't have this year. Beating Tennessee. Hello, who expected that? Not me. They won game, and they've been in a bunch of games. You look at their schedule when Joe Burrow was there was a bunch of one-possession games. That team is not far away, and that's how it's going to be with the Jets or Jacksonville, in my opinion. They have a bunch of pieces in place. Jets have a bunch of draft compensation coming up in the next few drafts, including this one. So they're going to get him some more weapons, get him some protection. They have money to spend in free agency to go get a receiver if they want, get a Will Fuller, Juju Smith-Schuster, bunch of receivers out on the market. They can go out and get one if they don't want to draft one to team up with Mims and Crowder. Because you saw that Perriman experience is not as good. I think they messed up not keeping Robbie Anderson. I don't know. That's just me. And Sam Darnold did not get a lucky draw here because that's not Joe Douglas's guy. So we all sitting there. Joe Douglas is like, Sam, I'd rather take Trevor Lawrence. It's my guy. So, and I think it's going to be very interesting at that second pick. If the Jets, God forbid, get that second pick, I would not be surprised with the Jets trading it.
See, I just think I need the Jets to get more weapons too, or to get any weapons at all. Jamison Crowder is cool and he's kind of reliable, but it's not like a weapon. I need them to have a running back that's gonna stay and be explosive, and like at least a top receiver. He deserves that.
I like Mims. And you know what? They might team him up with one of his former guys, Travis Etienne, possibly with that pick. Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne. So there could be that. I don't know what the Jets are going to do. Will, I see you're over there, middle school, hand styling it up. What you got, Will?
I mean, I want to go back to what you said. I mean, the Perriman experience wasn't going to work. Perriman had a great, December with the Buccaneers. That's because, you were without Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, O.J. Howard, essentially. You're basically the only one. And Jameis was just slinging it every single play. They weren't running the ball down there and all that. And also, the Robbie Anderson was not going to work out in New York because where he is in Carolina right now, he's killing it. Look at him. He's a 1,000-yard receiver. He's doing everything he can do. With the Jets, he was never going to be a 1,000-yard receiver. As much as I want to wish he was never going to reach that with the Jets because the Jets did not know how to use him correctly. And that's about it. But with the coaching thing, do you think they might bring in someone like Debo, like Urban Meyer, or even like a Sweeney kind of thing for the Jets to maybe get Trevor Lawrence to come out?
Debo Sweeney's not leaving Clemson, ever. Urban Meyer he said previously that he has zero interest in going back to coaching. He's retired. He's got his cushy analyst job. Only has to work one day a week.
Maybe two some days.
Yeah. Like they're not leaving.
So let's move on to this one here. Drew Brees is expected to start today against the Kansas City Chiefs. Apparently the Saints have made up that rule Monday with how he has progressed during the week in practice. He's looking pre-injury like, so he's slinging it. He's doing his checkdowns, whatever Drew Brees really does. But if he does struggle at any point, Jameis Winston will be the quarterback to replace him, not Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill will be back on his special team duties / tight end duties, whatever he's going to be doing in the offense and special teams. And, well, one more thing, the Bengals and Geno Atkins are expected to part ways this offseason. Geno Atkins has been a staple on the Bengals defense for the better part of 10 years now. So wherever Geno Atkins lands, he's probably going to be going to a contender and not any pretender anytime soon. And also, one more thing, James Robinson is 70 yards away from breaking the all-time rushing mark for an undrafted rookie.
Wow.
Which is around 1,100 yards. So that's
pretty cool, actually.
That is a pretty good thing to see. And, well, let me load up the injury report because there are quite a few injuries. Like Ronald Jones, he is not expected to play today due to being on the COVID reserve list. And also,
no Julio.
And one name to really look at, Leonard Fournette, who at one point was benched last week, went to scout team. Now he's the starter again in Tampa Bay. Quite the journey for him. I mean, even though
he really should have gotten way more of a chance there.
Yeah, I mean, Ronald Jones is really good. I liked him out of college.
Oh yeah,
I liked him out of college, but like
Rojo.
What was Fournette, the 7th He's like-
5th overall pick in 2017.
And I looked at his stats last year, right? I really did. I looked at his stats last year, the year before, right, going into the season, because I never really liked him that much. But I don't know if it was a situation or maybe whatever. But he really had a pretty good season last season. Like, there was nothing to complain about. As a receiving back, he did a very good job last season. Like, statistically, he definitely should have had a way larger role on this team than they even gave him the opportunity to have. I was very disappointed on how they used him.
Well, the problem is we all know what. Nah, go ahead, Jake. I see you were gonna say something.
He was hurt a lot, wasn't he? Though, like he's missed a lot.
He was
of time.
arguing with coaches
This
and all
season?
that
Well,
last
that was
year
that
and
was
2 years
everybody
ago.
on Jacksonville.
Yeah, but that was Jackson.
everybody
yeah.
on Jacksonville wanted out. I mean, what was it? Was it Miles Jack who retired earlier or was arrested? Which one was it?
Tevin Smith was
Tevin,
arrested.
yeah.
Tevin Cole. Tevin Smith.
Tevin Smith was arrested, and then you had like that amazing secondary. AJ Boye was the last one to get traded. Jalen Ramsey was traded. Then
They
you
all
had
wanted out.
Then Barry
AJ,
Church, who was cut because he just wasn't producing at all.
I don't understand
Yeah,
why they don't fire Doug Marone. Like,
They are.
I'm
They
sorry,
no,
but
apparently
please.
No, it's the
they're
GM.
gonna keep.
I don't like him either.
They
But
fired the GM. I think they want to keep Doug Marone. I think that is the rumor going around, but it's like very like you need a lot of salt in order to take that rumor into account.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. But to be fair, this is where we talked about running backs and a perfect fit. Already know what Tampa Bay is doing in the draft. As good as
Yeah.
Rojo is and as good as Fournette was, they're going running back. One thing I've seen when I've watched Tampa Bay play this year, and it's like a no-brainer. I've seen there people I've watched with. I look at them like, what is Brady missing right now? You tell me one thing Brady's missing right now in Tampa Bay. A receiving back. How many times have we seen Leonard Fournette or Rojo drop a ball right in their hands because they're not used to catching the ball like this? Brady misses his James White.
I'm
What do you think
surprised. I'm
do
surprised
you
they don't
think-
use LaShawn McCoy more.
Oh my-
Honestly,
Yeah, wow, good idea. Let's use an 80-year-old LaShawn McCoy. No, no. They're going out and taking a running back in the draft this year, and it's not a question. That's where they're going. I'll bet this is one of those things. If there was a bet, what is Tampa Bay taking in the draft?
why not
in,
go for Le'Veon Bell? I mean, he'll be a free agent.
No.
You get him on a cheap deal.
No.
Who's their third receiver right now? It's Evans, Godwin, and
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown and Scotty Miller. No.
Because they can use-
No. They're literally grabbing a receiving back in the draft. They're not messing with the Le'Veon Bell experience. They're not doing it. Give me a running back in the draft that can catch the ball. That is it. When we look at drafts where it's like, they don't need a running back. I always hate the thing where it's like, you got to draft a running back in the first 2 rounds. No, you do not unless you're in a win-now situation. What is Tampa Bay in a win-now situation? What was Kansas City in a win-now situation? You go and get a running back then. I was very annoyed when the Giants took Saquon Barkley. It was a mistake of a pick. You're seeing it right now. You're seeing more production right now out of Wayne Gallman than you have Saquon Barkley. I get, wow, what if Saquon was in this lineup right now? What if? The man's been hurt a boatload. You do not draft the running back unless you're in a win-now situation. Kansas City was.
say that Gallman would do that. Like that Saquon would be.
No. I just said Saquon would be better. But the point is, they're not winning a Super Bowl right now. So guess what? As soon as his contract's up to get paid, you're handicapped. You got to pay him $15 million a season. You don't. And look what happened. Christian McCaffrey gets paid $15 this season. What do you do this season? Play 2 games. You don't give a right. James Robinson is a perfect answer right now. James Robinson's dominating the running back position as an undrafted running back. They're running backs. They're disposable. You don't waste a pick on one. You don't do it unless you're in desperate need of one. And what is Tampa Bay in desperate need of? A running back.
Oh, that's exactly what Chip Kelly said, and I was never able to find one. So
What do you mean? They had Frank Gore, the best rusher the Eagles have ever seen since Shady. So I have one comment here. How will Drew Brees do in his comeback game against the Chiefs today? What do you guys expect?
Yikes. That's what I expect. Yikes. No Mike Thomas. It's going to be a boatload of Alvin Kamara, which I've missed, and I missed the playoffs because of it. It's going to be a train wreck. Kansas City blows them out. It's not even close. It's going to be a mess. Goodbye.
I don't think Drew Brees lasts the whole game.
Nah. I think it gets to a point the score's blown out, and they're like, "Yeah, this guy isn't healthy enough." And
If he's truly on a short leash for Jameis Winston, I don't think he lasts the whole game.
I'm playing him. This is a game you're not winning. I just put Jameson. Give him another week. What do you need Breeze to get whacked for?
I said this last week. I kind of think that Drew Brees should have retired. Like at his age, to get that gigantic of a set of injuries like that, I mean, what? I think it's risk over reward at that point. I don't know. I really don't know for him if it's worth it.
Well, at this rate, we've seen how he's been when healthy. The defense plays up. They're not scared of this guy going deep. They're not winning the Super Bowl, so it doesn't even matter unless you put in a guy like Winston. Jameis is their best option.
I agree.
Or the Taysom Hill experience was great. You know, he can run, sure. If Jameis Winston doesn't turn the ball over, he got his eye surgery. Heck, screw it. See what the guy can do. I wanted the Steelers to go out and get Jameis as a backup. God forbid for Ben. I like Jameis a lot. Again, I'm also the Jameis.
Free.
I might as well put a sign back here, Jameis Winston fan club. You know, I'm a big Jameis guy, so that I can't say much because the guy's been pretty bad, 30-30. So there's that. But you know, you got to play Jameis. He literally will expand that offense. Traquan Smith can get down the field. Sanders can get down the field, and you know what Mike Thomas can do after the catch. You got weapons there. Jared Cook can get down the field. Alvin Kamara, sure. This is where one thing I'm like, Jameis, look what you got here at running back. Give him the ball if nothing's down the field. Hit the check down. He'll get 20 yards for you in a flash. Give him the ball. Yes, Will, middle school style, Will. What you got for me, buddy?
Well, Michael Thomas won't be making the catch because Michael Thomas was placed on IR.
Yeah, postseason. Well, I'm well aware of that. Trust me. Fantasy reasons, my man's out again. So, surprise, surprise. But no, I'm just saying, postseason-wise, he's going to be back and he's going to be 100%. That's why they're sitting him now. There's no reason. They're probably not making up ground on Green Bay. They said, screw it. We're going to cut our losses, get him healthy for the wild card weekend. But my point is, you got plenty of weapons still. Jameis is a guy. He'll get it down the field. Throws a pretty ball. And Sean Payton's done wonders with quarterbacks. Teddy Bridgewater, for example. They lost one game with Taysom Hill. He's the guy. He's in a good situation. Play him. Play Jameis. What are we doing here?
See, I think if they were to actually play Winston, right? First of all, the New Orleans Saints go out and get people, right? Emmanuel Sanders, Jared Cook, right? Even Traquan Smith, all right? And I feel like they're so underutilized. It's unreal. Jared Cook, his last 2 seasons on the Saints probably don't even match up against the one season he had the year before against the Raiders. And I'm willing to bet that because they're so underutilized. It's like Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara. Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara. I think Jameis is the guy that can actually, like you said, open up that offense way more than it's been and utilize guys like especially Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders still has a lot in his career. And I don't like where his career has gone after Denver. I mean, he had maybe a couple good games for San Fran, but it wasn't the same. He showed a lot in Denver, and I think he was very underrated. And he went to the Saints. I was like, oh, man, if they use him, it could be unreal. And it's not.
That's what I was going to say. Is like they had Ted Ginn, and Drew Brees just can't throw to him because he can't throw far enough. And they get Emmanuel Sanders, and he goes silent. You never see him. Taysom Hill actually threw a touchdown to him against the Eagles.
Yeah, and it was a nice touchdown.
Like, you got the guy to stretch the field to open everything up, and you don't use him because you literally cannot get the ball to him.
I want to see Jameis Winston.
Another question, too. Did Marcus Mariota play well enough to earn another chance to start for the Raiders or somewhere else next year?
No. He's a good fit in Oakland or in Vegas. That's like kind of like a good fit for him because he's athletic enough to move. He's a good fit there. He's not a quarterback anywhere else. We all saw that experiment in Tennessee. Tannehill comes over and is like, yeah, bro, you're garbage. I'm going to take this from you real quick. And he ran with that opportunity. I'm not in on the Marcus Mariota experience. Not interested. Not interested in what that man's selling. No thanks. No dice. Not here.
I think he's a real good backup, like one of the best in the league backup, you know? And he was doing actually some good things for the Raiders that game. But Derek Carr is the real true starter. And what he's done this season is back to, 2018, Derek? Carr? 2017, whatever
2015.
year it was. No.
No,
20,
2016.
2015 Derek Carr. That was the year where the Panthers and the Raiders were going off hand in hand.
No.
No.
The year when he got injured
When he broke his
late
leg.
and they were going into the playoffs.
2015. 2015.
No.
2015.
It was way closer than that.
No,
It's,
it
tw-
was-
it's 20.
closer
It's
than
2015. 2015.
No way.
Look at because
But
the
nonetheless-
Jets were really good 2015 too.
no,
That's why
Dude, it was 2016.
it was 2015.
December,
You could
December of 2016.
no, it was against the Colts
I'm looking this up.
2015
I
in
don't even know
Oakland.
what to look it up.
You could Venmo me $5 and say, "Will, you were right," because that's what happened. It was, I believe, in the third quarter against the Indianapolis Colts in Oakland, Week 16. Breaks his ankle.
Nonetheless, I think he's back to that, and I really, really liked what he's done this season. And there's no replacing him at this moment. Not happening.
He's
Mariota's
He's gonna
not the
make.
guy.
He's gonna be the guy in the league. He's gonna be that guy like a Josh McCown. He's gonna be good enough to keep in the league, but that's it. He's not a starter. No
Oh,
shot.
You talking about Mariota or Carr?
Nah, Mariota. Carr's the
Oh, yeah.
guy. I
Yeah,
like
Carr's
Carr
good
a
as a
lot.
player.
I like Carr, and he's got nothing. Ruggs hasn't done squat.
Don't throw to him.
Not even. He hasn't impressed me at all. I've seen more stuff out of other guys instead of
He's
him.
a decoy in that offense. That's really his role, to be honest.
And it's just Waller. Imagine getting him another receiver, not Hunter Renfro. Could we
Well,
get him back?
that's why it works.
I like
is
Hunter.
all that space in the middle for Waller because they're just sending Ruggs every play down the field to clear it out. It works.
Get him
May not
another.
be
Get him
statistical,
some
but-
other targets. Derek Carr is going to be very good in Vegas. It's not even close.
That's
I
why
agree.
Nelson Aguilar can catch the ball again.
Yeah,
Bingo.
I mean, it's
Really
true.
good.
He really is having a decent season
That's
again.
exactly why. He doesn't have to be the guy on the outside. He can just do all the inside routes.
So let's go back to these injuries right now. So people that are out right now include Alex Smith, Travis Homer, Julio Jones, Debo Samuel, Kenny Galladay, Damian Harris, Myles Gaskin, Duke Johnson, C.J. Procise, Kyle Rudolph, Eric Kendricks, Michael Thomas, Derwin Thomas, Wyatt Teller, and Daniel Jones. The entire NFC East is playing backup quarterbacks. Colt McCoy is expected to have his revenge game against the Browns. Dwayne Haskins is going to be starting against the Seattle Seahawks. Andy Dalton's playing, as we already know. And the Eagles, Jalen Hurts is going to be starting against the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, wouldn't you consider Haskins the starter though? Because
Yeah, that's kind of confusing, actually. I was thinking that too.
they started everybody.
He was the
Like,
starter.
everybody's played.
Then it's
They
like-
played all three of them. Who's the real starter? I think Haskins is like the real starter. They drafted him. They started the season with him.
And he's a team captain, too.
There you go.
So, one more
Ron
question
getting
before we
paid for-
but one more question before we go into all the little fun stuff that we have planned on. So, did Notre Dame play themselves out of the college football playoffs?
No, they're gonna
Nah,
put both of them in.
they're gonna put both of them in.
The
Again,
Alabama
it's-
treatment?
Well, it's not even that. I do believe they should add 6 teams. Like, I'm so tired of this because or 8.
6.
Give the first 2 a bye. I agree. They should add more. Makes it very easy.
8.
Where it's like, oh, did this team deserve to be in? Is Notre Dame going to get mollywopped possibly in the first round? Yeah, but they deserve to be in. They beat Clemson. I get it wasn't with
8.
Trevor Lawrence, but don't give me that shenanigans. That man played great. Ugalele played great in that game. So what difference would it made with Trevor Lawrence playing? The defense just played better this game for Clemson. They did
8
in the
is
first
too
time.
much. 8's too much. 6 is perfect because it's always like they're always fighting whether the next 2 teams deserve to be in.
Bingo. Like,
It's
if
always-
Coastal wins and they go undefeated, if they ever play that game, they should be in. It's like, all right, Coastal went undefeated. Screw it. You guys want to act all big? Toss you in the conversation. Go ahead, go for it.
I don't think they should ever put a group of 5 in.
Ah,
That's just my opinion. I don't
Hey
think
man,
should
they
ever.
they beat BYU and everyone was all
Yeah,
BYU.
BYU is
possibly.
the same shit. It's the same.
I'm
shit
just
kicker
I'm
teams that
just
don't
saying
win.
you should same time though. If you have a team that has a decent enough resume to make it in, they won some games that people probably didn't think Coastal was going to win. They beat BYU and everyone was like, BYU is going to win this game. Guess what? Coastal comes out and wins. So
BYU. It's not Auburn.
yeah, but we all loved BYU early. We all loved the Zach Wilson thing, how that was going. So why not put a team like that in? A&M kind of deserves a way in.
2.0.
Hey, this is my point. You want to talk all big. You guys won a national championship. Put them in. See how good they are. They get mollywopped, fine. But at the same time, we've seen Georgia in the college football playoff how many years, and they've gotten their doors kicked in. I'm tired of the Georgia experience. Like,
Oklahoma is that one.
bingo, Oklahoma. We all know, it's usually those top three: Ohio State, Clemson, and Alabama, and then the fourth is sure toss them in, see who that is to get the doors kicked off, and see what happens in the 2 or 3 games. Make it 6, toss another team in. You might have a surprise. You might have an A&M upset where A&M's in the next round. Put it in there. I'm tired of seeing the same 4 teams. Add 6 in. You might get something spicy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong.
Dom had a question. I saw his hand raised.
Zeke is not playing today. The Dolphins in a gigantic,
win now
holding on
game.
to their they got to win out pretty much because Baltimore's most likely going to win out. And if the Dolphins lose a game, their season's over pretty much, I think. No Mike Gesicki, no Devontae Parker, no Jakeem Grant today. That is gigantic for the Dolphins. That is bad. So that's real sketch.
Yes. If Russell Wilson gets back to how he started the season, can he win MVP?
I think
Josh Allen. It's Josh Allen and it's Patrick.
I don't know.
What about Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers has 40
Rodgers
touchdowns.
Also been great.
40 touchdowns, 5
Mahomes.
Interceptions.
I think it's Mahomes to lose at this rate. I think it's Mahomes to lose.
I said Derrick Henry, guys.
So let's get into this one. Buy, sell, and hold. What are you guys buying into with the season kind of winding down, where playoff clinches become playoff clinches and people that are in the playoffs lose out? What are you guys trying to buy into today?
I'm gonna do the unthinkable for the character of who I am, and I'm buying into the Baltimore Ravens for the rest of the regular season. I think these 3 games gets them into the playoffs. I think they become the wild card, that 6th seed for the AFC. They have the same record as the Dolphins, and the Dolphins would just need to hold on and win all 3 of these games. I think Baltimore is the only team between them, the Raiders, and the Dolphins that do it. So there it is.
About time.
Jeez.
There's Josh. Josh on the road. A man on the street interview.
We're on the road today, baby.
I'm buying the Vikings as a playoff team.
It's the other outside contender.
I think that they sneak in there on a. You good there, Josh?
Yes, sir.
Josh is struggling.
I'm buying the Dolphins. I think they win today without all the weapons. You saw what Tua did last week without any of the weapons at the end of the game. I think they win today because of defense. They do shut the Patriots offense down of what is the Patriots offense. They do get a win. I believe they beat the Raiders next week. I believe the Dolphins possibly hold on. It goes into that last game of the season against Buffalo. See if they find their way into the playoffs. I do buy into the Dolphins.
I'm gonna buy into them. I'm gonna buy into the Colts winning the AFC South. I have a very big confident feeling that they might win out. The Titans might lose an extra game or 2, but the Titans are more scary on the road than they are at home.
Don't they face each other one week?
They face each other next week. I think it's next week.
That could decide.
No, Steelers next week. Steelers Colts next week.
Oh, so week 17. It's not the first. Not the first time it comes down to a week 17 matchup.
No, it's not. Jeez, y'all are all wrong. The Colts play the Jags week 17.
Oh.
Dang, y'all are all drunk out here.
Do they not face each other then? Are we just wrong?
No, there was somebody that.
You clearly are. I just named the next 2 games, and none of them are Titans Colts. So you all are drunk. Bingo.
I'm mistaking that for a different group that faces each other. I don't remember who now.
Buffalo plays what's it called? But that
Miami.
game's not gonna matter now. Yes, yeah. Buffalo Miami. That game's gonna matter now, but.
So, Will, on our show, I said that I believe the Colts are going to take the division spot.
I said that very early in the season predictions. I said I think the Colts might honestly win it. I have faith in Phillip and company. But I also had the Titans making it in the wild card, I believe, a 5.
Colton, I want to hear how you feel about the Colts now. I know we all know how you felt earlier this season.
I bought into the Colts as of late. I bought into the Colts. They're going to roll again today. It's about damn time Jonathan Taylor figured out what he's going to do with the football, and they're going to run the ball today. Next week's a big task for them. Pittsburgh hasn't really allowed teams to run, and it's going to be Phillip Rivers next week. So next week's a big game. Looking forward to it.
It's today. Oh no, that's Houston.
And they're utilizing T.Y. Hilton finally for real. That's big. That's real big for that team. And
T.Y. is very good when he's healthy. The problem is the guy always has a hamstring problem or a quad problem, a calf problem. It's kind of the T.Y. show. That's kind of usually how it goes.
Also, like early, they went to Hines more than they went to Jonathan Taylor. Like they didn't really use him that much.
It was by committee. It's kind of by committee. It was like, flavor of the week.
They're starting to feed Taylor as the feature back.
Josh, who are you buying into today as?
He's frozen.
Hopefully a better internet connection and
a better service provider in Oklahoma.
My man's
Bro,
frozen.
get out of the cornfield. Don't even try.
No.
Don't.
Okay,
don't
we're
even-
Oh my God. Okay, let's go into. We're gonna move on. Hopefully, he.
I would mute him or do something.
I'm gonna mute him really quick. So we got that. So as we got a selfie pic of him, what are you guys selling right now? As the march for the playoffs are on.
Oh, it changed. What's the
For me, my sell I think has to be
My sanity.
For me, my sell kind of has to be the Giants. I thought the Giants were going to take this division. I kind of have to sell on the Giants. The Giants struggling as of late. I don't think they win tonight against the Browns. Their division chances are done. I think Washington takes it. That defense is legit and for real, and the Giants have too many injuries and COVID issues to overcome tonight. And I got to sell on the Giants. You know, they have a bright future. Tonight is not it, and the season's not it, and it's Washington's time to shine, man. Congrats to the football team, folks. Heads up for the Eagles, by the way. Jalen Hurts. Big problem future-wise, but Jalen Hurts. There's that for you.
I'm gonna start my thing now with who I'm selling. I'm selling off on the Raiders. Like they've went 6-3 the last 3 years now, and they just cannot get over that hump. They shouldn't have even beat the Jets, but they got to thank Greg Williams for even giving them a win that week. Listen, I don't know what's up with the Raiders. They're a very good team starting out, and then once they reach 6 wins, that's when they kind of just fall off the cliff. As you saw when they faced Atlanta, they lost 43-6. They lost in a score that has not happened in 99 years in the National Football League. I think it's better off just selling off on the Raiders. The Raiders have to build up that secondary because their secondary sucks.
Well,
horribly.
He's hurt every game. Damon Arnett. Dude comes in like questionable every game and then leaves in the first series. He's like cornerback Jason Peters.
Dude, and Trayvon Mullen from last year's draft, he was like a first rounder. Not okay. I don't like that guy. I liked him. I liked the pick and everything, and I was like, all right, interesting. But then, like, this season, he has gotten burned and taken penalties more times than he's done good for that team. And it's really unfortunate, but he just hasn't found his fit or anything like that. It sucks.
Late breaking news, Jameis Winston has been placed on the COVID reserve list, which means Taysom Hill is the backup quarterback for the New Orleans Saints today.
I hate everything about football. Who cares, bro? Like, that game, like, it has, like, oh, wow, Saints, Chiefs. That game's going to suck. I'm telling you right now, that game's going to blow.
Chiefs are only a 3-point. I mean, we're going to get to the bets later, but, like, Chiefs are only a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, I'm taking that by a boatload, man. That game's going to get ugly. That game's going to be bad. Like, I might even, like, adjust the spread. Like, I might, like, where you can adjust the spread and, like, get a better, like, I'm adjusting the spread on that game. I think Kansas City wins by at least a touchdown.
Jake, did you say who you're selling off on?
Yeah, my sanity.
Okay. Josh, who are you selling off on if you're not frozen?
Am I not here now?
It's sound quality.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're here.
Yes, you're here, but you're very spaced out there, my man, in Oklahoma.
Oh, no, I'm driving him.
Okay.
know.
That is not how
We
that
should
we
know.
did. That should not be on live right now, but
I'm selling. I mean, I don't want to sell anybody in the NFC East because I should have sold them all season. I think I might sell the Saints just because I don't believe in them. They're not making a postseason run at this point. Not with Drew Brees coming back way too soon with ribs and punctured lungs, and he should be retiring. And their backup quarterbacks aren't going to do it for me. So I'm going to sell the Saints. Sounds like a bad sell, but.
No, it's good.
It's not a bad
I
sell.
like it.
It's not a
Josh, I
bad
like it.
sell.
I'm about it.
It's not a bad sell.
And
I'm
let's-
selling the Chicago Bears. Yeah, they might be in competition for the wild card spot, right? They have the same record as the Vikings. They're one game behind Arizona, and to be honest, I don't even think it's close. I have a 0% chance that the Chicago Bears compete for that wild card spot. Minnesota's been doing too well, and even though Arizona's lost 4 of their last 6, still not going to happen for me.
You would have to, buy them first and actually believe in them
Yeah.
at one point.
That's fair. That's fair. But I'm there. It's a sure on sell off. I mean, I sold them off probably like week
Oh,
8, but
I sold them week 4 when they were 4-0.
yeah, it was never okay.
and hold. What are you guys holding out? For a miracle, at least.
Miami. I mean, I want them to hold on to that spot, so like figuratively and literally holding on them. But I think the Ravens steal it on the last day.
Oh man, I wish I bought into the Rams. I like the Rams right now too, and I think they take that second seed. But nonetheless, I'm holding on to the Cardinals. I don't know how that's going to go for them. I want to see them get another win this week, so that I could say, okay, they can keep this wild card spot. But losing 4 of the last 6 is not pretty. And it seemed like they were one of the coldest teams in the NFL, but they won last week. So maybe they're getting right on track again. But that's why I'm holding them, because I need to see how today goes. And then, that's that.
I'm holding on the Steelers, and it's very, very worrisome how the offense is playing. I don't know what's flipped with the Steelers. Offense looked fine early. It's like, all right, this is what I expected it to be, and now they're lost offensively. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if it's play calling, the fact that you look at the passing charts each week, you have everything at the line, and then you have a few plays deep. Josh, your mic is absolutely
muted him.
killing me, my man.
I muted him. It's okay.
You got the deep ball twice a game, and it's like it's coming. Like you'll have oh, there it is. Otherwise, everything's at the line.
That's how they
Play
been all
calling's
year.
Play calling's very frustrating. I don't know what it is. This team's got to get back to trying to run the ball.
You know what it is? I can tell you.
Oh, give it to me, Jake. Give it to me.
It's they're smelling themselves, and it's Mike Tomlin when they're high that they crash and burn.
Whoa, they're never this high easy. So you can't say that. You can't say that. They're never this high.
Well, no,
They're
like
never this high.
when they think that they're a superior team to the team they're playing, they play down, and
they always play down their opponent. That's just kind of how
so
this.
now they just
how
think
this
they're better
team
than
works.
everybody.
That's how this
And
team works. God, but the fact that this is where it's like I can hold on to them because people want to say they're pretenders. Sure, give me that old spiel. They're not. They played without a bunch of guys against Buffalo. And honestly, if Ben doesn't throw that pick 6 in the first half, I think Pittsburgh squeaks out with that win. As bad as the offense played, and the defense got torn up that first drive in the second half, Steelers played great against Buffalo. And Buffalo seems to get their crap together right now. The fact that the Steelers were even in that game and as bad as they played offensively gives me some hope that this team is actually not that far away if they can just figure it out. And they got a great game Monday to try to figure it out against Cincinnati. This is, I think, a perfect situation for them because it's not how you're playing now. It's how you play at the end of the month and in the playoffs. And I think they can get it going. They got a great defense. They were without Joe Hayden, out Spillane. They're out key pieces defensively without Vince Williams against Buffalo. The fact that they were in the game, and if you take that score is 27-15, give me, or 27-17, whatever the hell the score was. Take the what's called off. Take the pick 6 off the board. And the game's a lot closer than it should have been. And if Ben looks to the right side of the field It sees James Washington flying wide open and doesn't throw it 8 years late. Touchdown. Definitely a different game. I'm holding on the Steelers because that defense is still legit. And the fact that they played very well against Buffalo, who seems to have their crap together without their number one corner, number one linebacker, and their other backup linebacker, proves a lot to me that this team is fine. They can figure it out offensively. I got to hold on them.
You know what? Let's go on to the next topic right now because, wow, we're 50 minutes in right now and we still got a little more ways to go. So let's go into the debate topics here. Who won the trade? The Vikings trading away Stephon Diggs and drafting Justin Jefferson, or the Bills receiving Stephon Diggs?
It's a win-win.
Win-win. I don't think
That's fair. It's a win-win.
I don't think there has to be a loser in that situation.
There's not. I guess you could say the winner is Minnesota for getting Jefferson on a rookie deal, but to be fair, it's a win-win for Buffalo because Josh Allen looks like a freaking MVP type quarterback and a top 3-4 quarterback in the league with Stephon Diggs. So I don't know how hurt Stephon Diggs is. He did get hurt last night at the end of that game. So hopefully for my fantasy purposes, he's okay going into next week. But he did get hurt last night. So that is a little question mark there.
I mean, I'd say Jefferson just because of the money aspect.
Yeah. Yep.
But
And I think, to be honest, I think that was the complete right thing to do for Minnesota. I really love how Jefferson is playing. And when Jefferson's heating up, this team seems to be heating up. They went 1-5, and Jefferson didn't even do anything in the first 4 games. So after that, Jefferson starts playing extremely well. They see him as a legitimate weapon and whatnot, and they've done extremely well since.
I'm in the minority, but I think he's the number one in that offense. Like when he's going, they're going. When Thielen's kind of an afterthought on when they're. If Thielen's going, it's usually because of like garbage time or just closing game out. Jefferson's like the spark plug of the throwing game.
I think it's a win-win to just make it short. It's a win-win both sides. But if you have to give a winner, it's kind of hard because you could say you have to give a winner. Say
It
Buffalo
is.
because sure they got a young legit receiver, a number one guy that has made Josh Allen do something special there because he has someone to actually throw the ball to. Or you could say, fine, Minnesota won because they have a cheap deal with Justin Jefferson.
I mean,
I think it's a win-win both sides, and you can make a case for one's a little bit better than the other. I think it's a win-win for both, but sure, if you want to give a winner at Minnesota with a cheaper deal, same time,
also-
Diggs is a legit one. So
it also opens up Cole Beasley, and Cole Beasley's been playing extremely well.
wait till they get John Brown back if that guy ever gets.
Oh
healthy.
my gosh, yeah, he's been done. Yeah, that's true. He does well when he's healthy too.
Let's see. Next topic. Will Travis Kelce be the first tight end in NFL history to lead the league in receiving yards?
I don't know what he's at compared to everybody else.
Stephon Diggs is ahead of him by 60 yards right now.
Well, no. Stephon Diggs has played a game.
Yeah, he played a game. So, right now he's only played
Before this
13
week-
games. Yes.
Before this week,
He was
Travis
leading.
Kelce
Is that-
was up by like 50 at least.
Is that 1 and 2?
What?
Is that like the top?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so,
Stephon Diggs, then Kelce.
It's all. Do the Chiefs shut it down at the end once they clinch things?
Depends, if they can
Well, they're
fight for
probably
that.
not because they're going to have that bye. I probably see them playing at least a little bit in that game, week 17. And they might have to play because if they lose a game and
Could be
Pittsburgh,
done. It could be done
Pittsburgh
today. I
comes
mean,
out.
I don't think Pittsburgh loses, but I mean, it could be done.
Or it could
this
be done
week.
at any time, technically, but yeah.
yeah, if Pittsburgh loses one more and Kansas City wins out, I think that's kind of it. It's a nail in the coffin. I do believe Kansas City until it gets to 1. Same thing with Buffalo, though. Buffalo might shut it down, too. If Buffalo's locked in at a 3 seed or possibly the 2 seed, Buffalo can shut it down, too, knowing they don't have a bye.
I don't think they can catch the Steelers, can they? I mean, I
Buffalo
think
can.
they're
If Pittsburgh,
one
if
down,
Pittsburgh
right?
loses, Pittsburgh
one-
loses. Yeah, Buffalo jumps them because they have the tiebreaker over them. So if Pittsburgh takes care of business Monday, which I believe they do, they play the Colts. If they beat the Colts and it kind of goes down to that week 17 game, sure, they might be scoreboard watching with that game, seeing if Pittsburgh pulls it out. And if they're winning week 17, they do play the Browns. So could be very interesting there. So the Steelers can clinch the North Monday with a win. But with that no bye, what are teams going to do? So week 17 is very interesting this year with teams not having a bye. So
I think
Steelers
they'll
very
see
well
it.
can sit their guys. No, screw it. Home field really doesn't matter. We almost beat Buffalo in Buffalo as it is. So they might just sit their guys and say, screw it, I'll take the 3 seed and I'll buy for my starters who haven't had a buy since week 4 and say, screw it. That's week 17 is very interesting how it's going to pan out with these two teams. Kansas City might play knowing they have the bye, and Buffalo might sit them knowing that they're not having a bye.
Now, of these 4 quarterbacks that may get moved and or released, who would you start in your franchise? Matthew Stafford, Jimmy Garoppolo, Sam Darnold, or Carson Wentz?
Next question.
I gotta
Wentz.
go. I
Come
gotta
on.
go. Sam or Wentz.
It's Sam if you're looking at age, Wentz if you're looking at talent.
Would you start
Sam's more
Stafford?
of a future. Like it's like, see, Will said part of that kind of threw me off. He said, "Who would you start?"
Start with, yeah.
Start with. Like, if I'm bringing in Sam, I'm looking at a legitimate future and some development. If I'm looking at Wentz, I'm looking at a lot less development and just a good situation and a good group. But he could start.
But would you
Matt
start
Stafford-
Stafford and like if you have a win now situation and your franchise has like everything around, you just need that quarterback?
Would I start Stat Badford? No.
I see Matt Stafford. It's like we're gonna win 50% and we're gonna lose 50%. I don't know. I don't think Matt Stafford's had a bad situation in Detroit. So that tells me that like how much better can it get for him? You know, I mean, they've had
He's had receivers. He's had a running
Yeah.
game. He's had
yeah. And then Jimmy G's interesting. I don't know if he stays healthy. He's okay. Obviously, after last year, we know that you got to bring Jimmy G in when the rest of your offense is better than him. So
I'm going Wentz here. 3-year difference, short, and I've seen a hell of a lot more out of Wentz than Darnold. I'm not trying that pony train. Give me Wentz. It's not a question. My man's just lost his marbles this season for some reason.
one bad year, and they're going to trade him, and he's going to win the Super Bowl next year as soon as he
I,
leaves.
I hear you, man. Frank Wright's probably sitting over there looking at the shops like,
Oh.
sure, I'll take him.
Anonymous AFC team. Who wants to bet that anonymous AFC team is the Colts?
yeah,
Put the house
I will
on it.
bet the house. I'll bet the house on that one. It's probably
Yeah.
the Colts.
And the last one, who would you start in your franchise? King Henry, Christian McCaffrey, or Dalvin Cook?
Me, I want CMC on that one, but
Christian McCaffrey to me is out of those 3 guys. All right, and this is tough actually because I feel like it's situational. But you said franchise. Out of those 3 guys, if I want a franchise running back, I want the dude to stay for 12 years and to carry my franchise. I have a no-brainer in CMC. Absolutely no-brainer to me.
he's just more versatile. Like
He really is. He did the first time since who was it? Marshall Falk, right? Since 2001 or whatever. It's the first running back to go 1,000. So
like Cook and Henry can ice a game on the ground and just keep pounding the defenses, but like you never know which play call you have the whole playbook open whenever McCaffrey's in the game.
and McCaffrey had to deal with
Same
backup
thing with
quarterbacks.
He doesn't
Cook-
receive all that much. Like he's not.
Hey,
Like,
well, yeah, I don't know, man. My man's had a ton of receptions this year. My man's nice.
like Christian McCaffrey though.
Clearly differently. The receiving back is McCaffrey. The running back that can actually catch the ball is Dalvin Cook. To go differently from you both, if we're talking health wise, I'm taking Dalvin Cook. I'm taking Dalvin Cook because the guy can actually run through the tackles, be very, very scary. Christian McCaffrey can run through the tackles, and he's more of a receiving threat. Dalvin Cook can catch the ball, and he's a spoopy man after the catch also. So
What
I'm
about
taking
Derrick Henry
Dalvin.
then?
The guy can't catch as well as Dalvin Cook and
Oh,
McCaffrey.
that's true. That's true.
Dalvin Cook can actually run the ball still. So I'm taking Dalvin Cook to be different from you two. But I think it's him or McCaffrey. I do like Derrick Henry quite a bit. The man is very scary in the fourth quarter. The receiving
The
threat
problem
is
with
the
him
problem.
is he's a little too feast or famine at times.
Yeah, well, past few seasons it's been a lot of feasting, but I don't disagree with you. It's also when it's very easy to have blown up numbers when he has Jacksonville and Houston in his division. So there's that for you.
He goes 200 against those two every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think though, Derrick Henry out of those three guys is the least dependent on a offensive line. Personally, that's what I think. Because he's not trying to get around the edge.
He's got
What?
a very good offensive line in Tennessee. I think if he has a shitty offensive line, the guy's going to struggle.
I don't know.
I don't know. The guy I think needs like fucking 20,000 carries. You figure he really struggled against Pittsburgh, and he had like 30 carries for 80 yards. So my man needs an offensive line. If he's playing again, like I just said, he's playing Houston and Jacksonville twice. My man's getting 500 yards from those games combined, probably more. So there's that for you.
And let's go into the stardom setting for fantasy. Championships are starting this week in some leagues. Other leagues, the playoffs are in the battle right now. Who are you guys want to have a player picked up in order to win their fantasy game, league, whatever situation someone's in right now?
Jonathan Taylor, end of point. He's playing one of the worst rush defenses in football. You can say that he's the one of Derrick Henry. He's playing Detroit. But going to go on a guy that kind of quiet, Jonathan Taylor. It's not a question. He's playing the second worst rush defense in football. It's going to be a whole lot of Jonathan Taylor tonight. Give me Jonathan Taylor, please.
Someone I'm going to start, I mean, we mentioned him already, T.Y. Hilton. He already burned the Texans last week for 2 weeks ago with 100 yards and a touchdown. I think he will do that again. But someone that is widely available that I think could do a whole lot of damage is Chad Hansen of the Houston Texans. As I said last week, I mean, he's guaranteed to get you 12, 13 points. The Texans have no receivers right now. So why not go for someone that's only owned in 4% of ESPN fantasy leagues at this very moment?
You know what, Will? And you're not allowed to yell at me for this because I can yell at you for something else that I got going on my team. I think Marquise Brown is a good match this week. He was out all week, actually, and he got activated 2 days ago. But it's against Jacksonville. He's, like, actually catching the ball and catching touchdowns now. And I actually like that situation. I think Marquise Brown's not bad.
So this
Dom, there's your first drunk statement of the night, Dom. No,
hey, I'm not even starting him. I'm not even starting him because my stuff is locked up.
My man, in the case of the dropsies last week against Cleveland, the problem was
touchdown.
Sure, he's wide open. I could have caught the damn ball with no one near me. You kidding me? No,
it's
I'm
Jacksonville.
not Hollywood Brown. Look at the numbers all season. If you want a boom or bust play, Hollywood Brown's your guy. I'm not sitting with confidence in playoff time. Screw it, bro. Hollywood Brown. Yes, sir. Book it. No shot. No shot. They're going to run all over him tonight. It's J.K. Dobbins, Lamar, and then I'm out of here. Just run the ball, run the ball, run the ball.
So, I mean, mine is like the obvious play. It's like there's not a chance anybody in hell would bench this guy, but D-Hop with no Darius Slay in today. The man is – we have like – I think we were on our third and fourth outside corners right now. It's going to be ugly.
So start Kyler Murray and D-Hop if you have them. Yeah. And my one league, I do have both of them on the same team, so getting everything. Josh, I don't know if you want to unmute yourself and you want to join in on it.
Yeah, I have a start for you guys. I just heard he's going to get a real great catch, and I'm going to start Colton Gesser. Final answer.
Yes, sir. All the way from Oklahoma, baby. We love that. Yes, sir. We love that. We love that confidence out here.
And what is one guy or person, team that you're going to be benching? I can't even say Zeke because, you know, he's out today. I'm just without everyone today in one league.
So, and this is a very temporary situation for people that do have them because of the situation of the Houston Texans and Will Fuller and whatnot. But I'm sure there are people out there like me who went out and got Kiki Cootie because that could be the guy for Deshaun Watson since Will Fuller's out. And he had a great week. The first week Will Fuller was out, he had 9 points last week, which kind of But this is against Indianapolis, one of the top, if not the top defensive team in the league. So I don't think he has a good week. I don't think it's a good choice to start him. If you snagged him for that temporary situation, for a replacement situation. Don't do it this week. Don't start him this week. Other than that, I don't know who else. I got to do some more research.
Bro, please. I was checking my phone. Please tell me this man did not just say he's sitting Kiki Cutie.
Against Indianapolis defense? Yeah, for sure.
What is wrong with you, my man? He's the
I'm
number.
absolutely.
He's the number one target in a team that just throws the ball.
He had 9 points last week.
Great, he's gonna get 5 catches. I guarantee it. I see. This is where I need FanDuel to parlay prop bets.
He had 9 points against Chicago.
Chicago has a better secondary than the Colts do.
I don't know about that. I would not say that.
See, Dom just needs to skip on this one. Dom, 2 bad plays in a row. Jake, tell me I'm wrong. You're with the guy.
Hey, no. Okay.
I think he's right.
Earlier this season, Colton would come at me.
Oh my God.
Colton came at me a lot earlier this season for my picks and fantasy stuff, and I was right every single time. So I'm not listening to you, Colton. Not for my stuff.
All right, I can't wait to send a screenshot to Will. I'm like, bro, can you send this to Dom for me, bro? Can you send that to Dom for me real quick?
All right, so it looks like we're watching the Indy game.
So, and let's go into the last part, locked picks and upsets. Who are you guys locking in for a guaranteed dub today? That is
There's
not
a
the
lot of
Rams.
teams. I feel like there's
Rams.
a ton of teams that lock in a win today. I don't know why.
Hey, just a question though, just a little statement before you continue on this crapshoot. Looking at the numbers from the game when they played them 2 weeks ago against the Colts. Just so you're aware, Kiki Cutie had 8 catches, 141 yards on 9 targets.
Wait. That was
9 targets. Are you smoking? You're smoking. Because 8 catches, 141 for Kiki Cutie. I'm not sitting him with 9 targets.
my God.
God.
I did say 2 weeks ago he had 22 points, and I didn't realize that was against Indianapolis.
Yeah. Guess who's gonna do again?
Well, you know what? That's not my fault. Don't schedule
Do your
2 teams to
research.
play each other twice in 3 weeks. All right, that's the
Do
NFL's
your
fault.
research. Do your research. That's all I
Can I
ask.
just say that? Can I just say that I want to sit Dominic Mercadante for a bad opinion this week? I really just don't trust his word. Colton kind of just shut him down. Showed him.
Josh,
he showed
you're a
him who's
Giants
boss.
fan. Josh, you're a Giants fan. I don't want to hear it.
Oh, you're a Patriots fan, or you're wearing a Chiefs jersey? Got it. All right.
You're a phony. You're a phony.
This is for my fantasy team.
All
All right. Well,
I love Oklahoma, bro. I love it.
let's go into the upset picks here. Let's see, like who you guys see that might do the upset, the unthinkable, and pull out with. I'm gonna start here. The Washington football team pulls an upset. Dwayne Haskins gets a win over the Seattle defense. Seattle only let up 3 points against the Jets last week, and listen, no offensive line for the Seahawks. I think Chase Young and company eat today against Russell Wilson.
I mean, worse teams like the Giants have done it, so I get that.
Give me the Eagles. Eagles are gonna beat the Cardinals today.
That's a go big or go home statement.
Not really. When they beat the Saints last week, who were rolling, probably one of the better teams in football. So they're going against a worse defense than the Saints. Give me Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
Colton, you don't want that. I would like to personally tell you don't want that game.
I might have to listen to you, Josh. You've kind of had my corner this whole time, so I might have to listen.
I think you should change it, buddy. As your number one. I don't know what I should call this.
As my right hand man. I gotta go with you.
Yes, sir. Bald, redhead, beard. That's me. Change your pick, bud. Change your pick.
I'm going Giants. I'm going to roll with my boy Josh's team. Give me the Giants.
That was mine. That was my pick that I was gonna make. I was gonna say take the Giants over the Browns as the upset. Colton always stepping on my toes every time. I think I'm gonna come in with a unique pick, and
Colton's like the chair leg, and you're just the pinky toe.
no, he's the uneven chair leg. It's always just keeping me uncomfortable.
All right, and I think that might honestly round out the show. I mean, if you guys have any closing remarks, say them now. If not, forever hold your peace. Up until next week.
I got your Eagles, Jake. All right, I got your Eagles. I think the Eagles get a win today.
No, why would you do this to me? That's even worse. I want the draft pick. We suck.
He's on the Will train.
I'm on the tank.
He just jumped on.
We suck again.
We suck again. Oh.
All right, well, I'll leave everyone here talk about their shows and what they have going on planning wise. So I'll let you guys have the floor. So whoever wants to speak first, by all means, you could go do it. Don't you all
Alright,
speak
so-
at once?
Me and me and Jake, hockey's starting to get rolling again, so that's kind of nice. In 2 weeks from now, me and Jake are going to be recording
Every day.
like 8 podcasts in 1 week to put them in queue to release for the hockey season coming up. So we got the World Juniors coming up, which is kids under 20 for each country playing. That's a tournament. The NHL season starts
Right after that.
January 13th. Yep, right after that. So we're previewing that stuff. It's just push content. Then we have some fun stuff. We have little trivia stuff that we had for off-season stuff, but now it's all just kind of coming together for the preseason and everything. So we're pushing it out.
Well, personal foul's been a hot minute, and I've been busy with the play action. Do have some good stuff in the works, though, folks. Got Lee Steinberg in the works, #1 football agent, Patrick Mahomes' agent, Tua's agent. The list goes on and on. Working on that. Got that in the works. Trying to set up a date here the next week or two. So that is on the docket.
That's awesome.
All right, yeah, I'm still gonna call him my guest, even though it's not Colton level guests.
Oh my
I'm
God,
gonna get
he's
there
in like a freezer right now.
Oh no, I'm gonna get to Colton's guest one day, but I do have a guest this week for talk show.
He's just not. His mouth's just
Trevor
frozen.
Denny. He's an old high school friend. He loves college football. I don't know if this is going through, but we gotta get.
Well, I mean, I don't want to. I mean, we're
April.
planning on. So, I mean, I'm planning on Super Bowl week for the Play Extra podcast. We have one. I have one person. It's very early. I mean, I'll tell them after. I don't want to say it live. Then it doesn't happen. But someone's very early in the works for Super Bowl week. Want to jam out 5 podcasts the week of the Super Bowl. Different interviews of people that have won the Super Bowl or fans and all that. So we'll get that going right there. And well, I think that's it for everything here. Hey, go follow all these shows. Between the Benches JD on Instagram, Talk Show U on Instagram, Play Action Podcast over on Instagram, and To The House. Is it To The House or To The House JD on Instagram?
To the house, JD.
To The House JD
All the
on
Instagrams have
Instagram.
JD at the end of them.
Everything with JD at the end. So, by all means, everyone, let's have a
JD.
Whoa,
Let's-
wait a minute before you close this out.
and
do not,
and the Personal Foul podcast.
no,
Oh,
that's not what I was going for. Do not forget about our giveaway. on the
Oh
pin-
yes.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I have forgot about that. So if you do have a Twitter, you could go follow the Sports Opinions podcast. That's where us, the Play Extra podcast, Colin's podcast, the first Personal Foul podcast, and multiple other shows have a place to post their shows. We're doing a jersey giveaway. Jersey your choice on Fanatics. Go retweet it, tag a friend, follow 2 of the shows. Winner's going to be chosen December 23rd. So, you want a giveaway? Christmas present? Right there. By all means,
Mhm.
do that. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get on
Hey.
with week number